The old house stood as it always had, peeling paint, creaking floorboards, and a faint scent of dust and memories. Daniel hadn't stepped inside in over a decade, but something had drawn him back. Maybe nostalgia, maybe curiosity. Or maybe, though he wouldn't admit it, the dreams that had been plaguing him lately, dreams of his childhood room, of a whisper in the dark. Camera in hand, he pushed open the front door. The hinges groaned in protest. Just filming a little tour, he muttered to himself, as if explaining to the empty air. The house watched in silence as he moved through the halls, the lens capturing cracked wallpaper and sun-faded family photos. Then, his old bedroom. The moment he crossed the threshold, the air turned colder. His breath fogged slightly as he panned the camera across the room, the small bed, the toy chest, the dusty mirror above the dresser. He paused, adjusting the focus. That's when he saw it. In the reflection, just behind his shoulder, a face. Pale, sunken eyes, lips parted as if caught mid-breath. His blood turned to ice. He spun around, nothing there. Heart pounding, he rewound the footage. There it was again, clearer now. A face that wasn't his. He posted the video that night, half as proof, half as a desperate plea, asterisk, did anyone else see this? Asterisk. The comments flooded in. Asterisk, dude, at 1:12, there's a voice. Asterisk. Daniel replayed it. At first, only static. Then, barely audible beneath his own nervous laughter, a whisper, guttural and slow. You weren't supposed to come back. The screen flickered. In the black reflection of his monitor, something moved. And this time, it wasn't just in the video. The house smelled like childhood, wood polish, old books, and the faintest hint of mildew. Sarah hadn't thought about the game in years. Not until the dream started. She stood in her old bedroom, now stripped bare, the only remnant of her past being the closet door, chipped white paint, a brass knob tarnished with age. As a child, she'd played a game, knock 3 times, wait. Sometimes, something knocked back. Just my imagination, she told herself. But now, camera propped on a tripod, she hesitated. The room felt too still, the air too thick. Swallowing hard, she raised a hand. Asterisk knock. Knock. Knock asterisk. Silence. A breath escaped her. Of course. Nothing. She reached to stop the recording. Thud. The sound was so loud the camera shook. Sarah staggered back. The closet door rattled in its frame, as if something heavy had slammed against it from inside. Her hands trembled as she rewound the footage. There it was, 3 slow knocks, then a pause. Then, a 4th knock. Harder, too deliberate to be the house settling. But it was the comments that made her blood run cold. Asterisk, look at 047, under the door. Asterisk. She zoomed in. The shadows at the base of the closet weren't just shadows. They were fingers, bone-thin and too long, curling outward like something was trying to crawl out. That night, Sarah lay awake. And from down the hall, soft at first, then impossible to ignore. Asterisk knock. Knock. Knock asterisk. This time, she didn't answer. The cardboard box was damp with age, its corners softened by decades of basement mildew. Ethan hadn't meant to rummage through his parents' old storage, just grabbing holiday decorations, he told himself, but the faded sharpest scribble on the VHS tape stopped him cold. Do not watch. A joke, surely. Some long-forgotten home movie. But the way the words dug into the label, frantic and uneven, made his skin prickle. His laptop whirred as the digitized footage loaded. Static fizzed, then resolved into grainy color, a basement. This basement. The camera panned shakily across concrete walls, the lens flaring under a single bare bulb. Then, movement. Something crawled into frame. At first, Ethan thought it was a dog. Then the limbs twisted, joints bending the wrong way as it dragged itself forward. The figure, if it could be called that, was a blur of stretched skin and shadows, its face a smudge of pixels that almost resembled a human mouth, slack and hungry. The camera toppled. The last shot was a gloved hand grabbing the lens before the tape cut to black. Ethan uploaded it as a joke. Asterisk, ghost or bad editing? You decide. Asterisk. The first message came at 3:17 a.m. Asterisk, where did you find that tape? Asterisk, the account was old, no photo. Asterisk, we lived there in '89. We never told the new owners, but that thing is still in the house. It likes the walls. Asterisk. Ethan laughed. Then, from the basement, a sound like fingernails dragging across drywall. Slow. Deliberate. Answering him. The nursery wallpaper had faded to ghosts of roses, peeling at the edges where moonlight caught the seams. Claire hadn't set foot in this room since childhood, yet here she stood at 2:17 a.m., bare feet on cold hardwood, because the singing wouldn't stop. It came every night since she'd moved back, a woman's voice threading through the heating vents, humming a lullaby Claire almost remembered. Rockabye Baby, on the treetop, her mother, visiting that afternoon, had gone pale. No one ever sang to you here, she'd said too quickly. The digital recorder looked absurd on the rocking chair, its red light blinking in the dark. Claire left it running overnight. The playback made her spill coffee across the kitchen table. Clear as wind chimes, a voice not her mother's sang, "When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall." The recording picked up the creak of the rocking chair moving. Empty. The internet went rabid. Comments flooded in, asterisk, reverse the audio. Asterisk asterisk, there's whispering at 1:04. Asterisk, until one stopped her scrolling cold. Asterisk, that's my sister Eleanor. She was 19 when she died in that house in 1973. The doctors said it was sleepwalking, she fell from the nursery window singing that same song. Asterisk. That night, Claire woke to the smell of gardenias. The rocking chair swayed in moonlit arcs. And from the closet, where no closet had been in the original blueprints, a new voice joined the lullaby, a child's, giggling. The video had 12 million views when the first email arrived. Asterisk, that's not a ghost, it's wearing your face. Asterisk. Mark laughed it off. The shadowy figure in his childhood hallway footage could have been anything, a trick of light, sleep deprivation. But the emails kept coming, each more insistent than the last. The sender, A self-proclaimed paranormal investigator named Elias, begged to visit the house. "You don't understand," Elias whispered when they met at the property, his camcorder already running. "Entities mimic the living before they replace them." The house smelled of wet soil and something metallic. Mark's own footage had never captured the scent, but Elias's camera did, along with other things. As they reviewed the tape in Mark's car, a figure flickered in the hallway behind Elias's reflection. Not shadowy anymore. Clear. It had Mark's exact smile. Then the audio picked it up, a wet, clicking voice whispering, "Mayork," from the empty upstairs bedroom. Elias's camera fell as he spun around. The last frame showed his face draining of color, his mouth opening in a scream that never made it through the speakers before the screen dissolved into static. The video uploaded itself at 3 a.m. from Elias's account. Comments poured in. "Dude, at 6:22, is that you in the background?" Mark didn't check. He already knew. Something had been wearing his face long before he ever pressed record.